Jumping knee. Rolling elbow. Look at this.
This ain't the end of me. All the things that I could be. This is the end of you. After all that we've been through. This ain't the end of me. All the things that I could be. This is the end of you.
What's going on, wrestling fans? Paul Jazer here, aka the Arabian Wolf, co-host on PWF is War Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Follow us on Twitter at PWF is War. Like our page, join our Facebook group, Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Breaking news coming through the Vines, reported by a lot of reliable sources in the online wrestling community, along with WWE actually acknowledging on their website themselves that Fergal Devitt, aka Prince Devitt, long anticipation there. Triple H has been trying to sign this guy for years, and it's officially went down. Devitt replied with, "This is something I've been looking forward to since I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. I grew up watching wrestling my whole life, so to get the chance to step in the ring that I've watched on TV so many times is a dream come true." Devitt said he's looking forward to learning a new style at the WWE Performance Center. "I don't consider myself anywhere close to the finished product, so I'm looking forward to the challenge and learning a new style. For a guy with his caliber in and out of the ring, his mic skills, his showmanship, everything he has to offer, he's probably one of the most humble I've ever seen in a long time." He goes on record to say, "I've seen a lot of different training schools and dojos, and the sheer level of professionalism at the WWE Performance Center and the state-of-the-art facility itself just knocked me for a six. It really blew me away." He then also went on record to say that his target goal once he hits the main roster would be to go after John Cena. Reason being, if you're working with John Cena, then you're working the main event. So he already has a keen eye for what he wants to do. He already has long-term vision of his goals. This guy is arguably one of the best pound for pound in the world. If you haven't seen him, you do need to check out his work. He has a lot to offer to his business. Along with Kevin Steen coming in, WWE's also looking at Roderick Strong. Kenta has just been recently signed. So you got guys like Sami Zayn and Pac, aka Adrian Neville, even guys like Tyler Breeze, who will be making their transition onto the main roster, and then you got guys like Kevin Steen and Kenta and Devitt coming in to fill the void and make their transition into developmental. So as far as I can see it, I see WWE doing a lot of big things, and this time next year I think we're going to have an all-star roster. But don't forget, guys, you heard it here first, Prince Devitt has officially signed. I can't wait to see what he has to offer. The biggest question swirling the signing, now that it's actually true, people know it's official, is will he be repackaged? Will they change his name? They're gonna bury him. There's so much going into it. I don't see that happening. They made the signing a big deal, just like they did with Kenta. Not only that, Triple H has been trying to sign Prince Devitt for about 2-3 years, but at the time, Devitt was still too loyal to New Japan Pro Wrestling. He was there for 8 years straight, and he refused to leave to go anywhere else. So, you know, he's definitely a loyal guy, and he's definitely going to have longevity with WWE. So I'm looking forward to it. As far as the body paint goes, I know how much everybody's interested in that, as myself included. You know, does all the Marvel, he does, you know, he came out as Thor, he came out as Joker, he came out as Carnage, he came out as Venom, you know, the list goes on and on. I don't see WWE having a problem with it, but when it comes to copyrights and stuff like that, they would have to buy the rights to use those characters, especially with it being on national television. So I don't see that happening. Maybe when he gains some exposure and he really starts to get over it, they might invest like something like that into him. But as for his name goes, I see his name staying Prince Devitt. They might even just cut it to Devitt, kind of like they did with Big E Langston and things like that. So Prince Devitt or just Devitt, it works for me. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm looking forward to it as much as you guys are. So you heard it here first, guys. Podcast Wrestling Fallout, PWF is War. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at PWF is War. Join the group, like our page on Facebook. Podcast Wrestling Fallout. Prince Devitt has arrived at the WWE Performance Center today. Get ready for a treat, guys, because this guy has everything to offer and nothing to lose.